First things first, I want to give our honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem HaKodash. We say Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Bahashem HaKodash. And we give double honors to our apostles and our elders, which are the apostle elders, a great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai. Let's jump right into this video. I can only do about 8 minutes. In the last video I just did, cut it off. I had a call come in, but it only allowed me to do 8 minutes. So Lord willing, I can get everything in the 8 minutes. I'll keep an eye on everything. But as long as the word goes out, man, you know, the times we living in is just, prophecy is out. But the situation coming out with the so-called UFO, UAP release, I see it as a psyop in itself, because why the red flag should have been when they said lizard people and all of these things, because one, they're trying to spin the narrative to fit their so-called agenda. And the thing about this should show people that the government is dishonest, because many years, we've been around. If you've been around for a while, you know that many years ago that if you talked about UFOs or seeing flying objects, flying saucers, you were considered crazy, because conspiracy theorists are usually nuts. That's a new one I had to slide in there. Because these conspiracies are coming to pass. They're not conspiracies now, they're truth. They got videotapes and audios and all these things, but people that said they've seen it and they witnessed it, because now we're in the era of cell phones where everybody's got a camera on hand, on deck, all right, HD cameras, not no fuzzy, they got high def images of these chariots and crafts, so it's hard for them to put it in the bag. So what they have to do is they have to let it out on their own means and try to control it, because they don't want people to know the truth about everything on their means. They wanted to make sure it fits their agenda. But this video I wanted to share first is David Wilcock speaking about the so-called races of aliens, and they call them aliens or extraterrestrials. And it's not the green lizard people and certain things, because you got demons out there too. You got angels on the left and angels on the right. All right. So the main point is that we know the look and the identity, because even going back to Lot in the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, the angels that came into Sodom, they were beautiful. They weren't lizard people. They didn't look like no lizard. And the scriptures clearly illustrates that they were angelical beings coming to see what was going on in Sodom. All right. And in our Lord Yahushai, which was with them, had stopped back with Abraham. Okay. So he would have been there too. That's why it says, out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let everything be established. So that's why there was 2 or 3 witnesses. They came to witness. They said, we're going to lodge in the street all night and see what's going on. And that's why they told Lot, get out, we're going to destroy it. Judgment was passed. They told Yahushua what was going on, and the deviousness, and the city was given over to total debauchery and wickedness. So they judged it. All right, but let's play this video. This is fair use, fair use. This is for educational purposes only.
Actually look like people from Africa. So Earth groups which actually look like people from Africa. So that was one of the things I had real trouble with other insiders. Remember I told you this, Corey, that nobody wanted to say that there were black-looking people anywhere but on Earth. And it was like there's this racism inside the cabal. They don't want black people.
Because there is a racism. And listen to this part. Let me play it back.
Nobody wanted to say that there were black-looking people anywhere but on Earth. And it was like there's this racism inside the cabal. They don't want black people to know that they have extraterrestrial ancestry.
Right. Because that's power. When you see us today as Israelites, we walk a higher cloth and a higher integrity, because we know and we believe that we are those people, and we just don't talk it. We try to, let's say, rehearse the righteous acts in the land of John Waters, man. All right, we sing a song in the land of John Waters, and the main song and the main thing is that we are the Israelites. Yahweh Shem Yahshua is coming to save his people, and coming to save the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans out of Babylon, the elect, namely out of Babylon and parts of the planet Earth, in angelical vehicles. And if you look down to the right of this video, you can see a man with white hair, woolly hair, being beamed up. So what should come to your mind? Yahushua. Yahushua was beamed up, and he wasn't beamed up now we know that wasn't a cloud. They didn't have a name. They didn't have UAP, extraterrestrial, UFO. They didn't have those terminologies in Judea, all right, in that time in Jerusalem. They didn't have that. So they used what they knew at the time. It looked like a cloud. So it just went up. There wasn't flying planes and hovercrafts and drones. So they didn't have a knowledge of flight technology. So what else was it? It had to be a ship, a chariot. So the same thing we're seeing now is there is a racism in the cabal because they know exactly who we are. They know that we're more than what the world is anticipated. You know, they know the fullness of it. That's why they're more scared of us knowing this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding than anything else. They don't care if you want to be a YN or a Christian or a Pan-African. But when you say Israelites and you speak about that, then that means you're invoking the angelical side of things, all right? The spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh. That's why it says going back to Esther, it says that if these people's God be with them, there's nothing you can do. And the Lord is with us. That's why we've seen many videos with chariots, especially in GMS, starting with the apostles and elders, going back to G-Man and the vocab situation. After everything was said and done, the Lord showed a fleet of ships to the apostles and the brothers in New York. And G-Man was with them, and he was shook. You could clearly see that he was shook. I seen it on live. I seen the video say myself. I seen it. I witnessed that video when it came out. So to showing you that the Lord has been revealing himself by way of these ships to us. And I've seen many, I'm at least 10, I say about 5 to 10 UFO sightings with brothers deep. I've seen things without brothers that have been mind-blowing, beautiful. You know, and they're not there to harm or do anything. There's nothing scary about them. But the main point, Yahweh Shem Yahshua is giving us this knowledge in the time we're coming to because it's coming to the end.
Ancestry.
Right, and you were being told that black people didn't serve.
Didn't serve in the space program.
Right, and there were people from all races. That were
Right,
serving. Yeah.
Very interesting.
So that's the main point. That's the main point on that. But let's jump right here because the look of the angels are said in the Bible. They don't come like ghostly figures. They have a look to them. Like I just said with Lot and the angels that went in the land of Sodom. All right, this is the book of Ezekiel 1 and verse 7. It says their legs were straight, their feet were like those of a calf and gleamed like burnished bronze. See, burnished bronze is dark. All right, it's not just dark, it's burnt bronze, okay? Showing you the angels had the skin tone of a burnished bronze. So now David Wilcock didn't bring those precepts out or scriptures, but now we just backed it up by way of the Bible. Amplified. Let's read Amplified. Their legs, it says their legs were straight and the soles of their feet like a calf's foot, and they sparkled and gleamed like shiny bronze. No lizards, no none of that BS, okay? And now you got the situation with all of these UAPs that they're letting out, or the videotapes. Okay, fair use. This is for educational purposes only. All right, so you can see the chariots. I wanted to show this one right here. Let's show this one. That's what you call effortless flight. This one.
Rent a furnished, private room with utilities and Wi-Fi for less than $150 a week with
So you see they're letting out all these information because it's time, all right? That's why the Lord said, this is the book of Luke 8 and verse 17. And it reads, for there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open. So now it's time for all this information to come out, the truth to come out, and we are the able ones that can link it together. That's why it says knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy time. Those that are in the church that are not in the know, so-called Christians, they gonna bug out because they've been in preschool la land when it comes to the scriptures for so long that they believe the lies that they've been sold. They're gonna be the ones shook. But we know what, if you read and your mind has been open to the Ruach HaKodesh, you can tie everything in together and say, oh shit, we know that the chariots have been around for a long time. They've been around since the beginning, before the earth was found, before the foundation of the earth, because it says that before they were sealed, before the elect was sealed before the foundation, those being the Israelites, to come back on the earth and to be called Israelites, Adamites, and then to what? To receive that blessing and the deliverance and the glory and the kingdom, because the earth was made for our sakes. So all this thing is coming to pass, but if you're not in the know, you're not in the spirit, you're not going to be able to tie these things together, and you are going to bug out, because it's going to shake your whole foundational beliefs, all right? Because Esau's going to let out his technology that is going to make him look like a god and look like a so-called alien. That's why the scripture says, if it be possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And then what are they calling it? The great deception that's coming out, all right? So that's the main point. I just want to leave it there. Lord willing, is that a fine lesson? Bring the information out. Lord willing, I can get more time on this phone. I'm going to do some tinkering, erase some few things, and get some more space. So with that, I say, call Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, until next.